are able to spread more and more awareness about it. And so, yeah, I feel like it is not definitely not the right thing to do when a fast fashion brand is a fast fashion brand because they're compromising on the quality. So yeah, definitely not the right thing to do. But I'm also happy that there are platforms where we are able to spread awareness about it. I'm sure like many people at this point, including me, have learned recently about this and stopped using those brands. So yeah, that's at least like the awareness is going in a good direction. So yeah, that's the good part.
Yes, I think that's really great to know.
So now my question to you is, how would you use fashion to raise awareness about domestic violence?
Sure. So, fashion for domestic violence. First of all, for domestic violence, I feel like understanding or like like that the fact that you realize that it is domestic violence is important. So and that is one, and then the second one is that the people they who are going through that need to feel that they're not alone. That's like really important because once they know that they're not alone, they are empowered to come out, raise their voices. So I feel like there can be fashion shows or like fashion drives where you are making victims participate in, making victims walk for the designers. So I think like fashion can definitely play a huge role in that way, and also encourage such victims to kind of like come forward, kind of like, okay, yeah, there is a platform for me, like I'm not going to be alone there, I'm going to have participants around me who have gone through the same. So yeah, that's how I would like kind of go about it.
That's great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
Great job.
you. Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Anushka, this way. We have a contestant number 2.
Hello everybody, I'm Lalita Chelkamudi.
Hello.
Good evening.
Have a
Have a
seat.
seat, yes.
Thank you so much. Good seeing you all.
How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm doing good. I think it's definitely feel honored to be here.
So, if you win tomorrow, so what steps will you take to prevent domestic violence?
Absolutely. So in the month of October, I actually won the Mrs. Bharat Colorado, and I instantly partnered with the state of Colorado, and I have been recognized by the state of Colorado and the mayor of Denver to help with domestic abuse and homelessness. So what we've actually done is we've identified 2 groups of women. One is domestically abused women who are married and who don't have jobs, and the other subset is domestically abused women with kids who still have jobs, right? So the difference between both these groups is that one, they do not have dependency on finance, right? So we're really targeting women who really have that financial dependency versus not have that financial dependency. So the next step is to get out of their houses and also make sure that we give them jobs so they no longer get to stay in the toxic relationships. So that's the steps we are working, and that's like the 5 months roadmap for us.
That's absolutely amazing.
Thank you so
that
much.
You've used your crown already in
Absolutely.
such a short period of time. If you were to win this pageant, what else would you do? How would this help you even more?
Absolutely,
to
yes.
reach your goals?
I definitely, my next step is to inspire the younger generation to become more authentic, very resilient, and definitely make sure that they do not feel the pressure of social media. I don't want the younger generation to feel like they have to look a certain way or they have to feel a certain way, right? I don't want that. I really just want them to be themselves, because I think when you do you and when you be you, there is nothing absolutely joyful than that. So I definitely want to inspire them and also make sure that societal expectations don't define them at all.
Great answer.
Fantastic.
so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. So great seeing you all. Thank you so much.
Good luck.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
have contestant number 30 because she'll have to leave, so we'll have number 30 first.
Okay, 30. She'll say the name. She'll say the name.
Contestant number 30, Priyanka.
We don't see the name. Hello, Priyanka.
Hi.
Number 30, 30.
There are no numbers.
She is in Curry, yeah, Mrs. Curry.
Oh, we have to go
Find
back.
her name there. Priyanka.
Priyanka Kurunji?
Yes, yes.
We found her. She's in-
Yes. No.
No, that's Rita.
Hello, Priyanka.
Hi, Priyanka. Hi Priyanka, how are you feeling now? Yeah, so you look stunning and don't be nervous because you know what you have made so far here itself a achievement to me. So I would like to know before I ask you a question about you, just introduce yourself.
So yeah, my name is Priyanka.
Become a little louder.
My name is Priyanka Kuvenjikar, and I am a mother of two beautiful kids. And right now I'm here with my share. So I'm a little bit nervous, but yeah, this is a like dream. I once dreamed to win the title or something. So yeah, that's why I'm here to fulfill my dream. And that's my
So we all know about, we have heard about domestic abuse, right? And the risk that it involves. So my question to you would be, if you were given a chance to advocate domestic abuse through a platform, say my TV, how would you do that?
Thanks for asking this one. So, like me and my husband, we already so many things like some kids use sponsor money for their education, and our government say बेटी पढ़ेगी तो ही बनेगी मतलब कि देश आगे बढ़ेगा. And the domestic violence like जब person educate नहीं हो पाता किसी particular topics के लिए, they can feel no this is not right. लोग कहते पीढ़ी दर पीढ़ी मर्द है बेचारा हमारा तो मर्द है, वाइफ ऐसा नहीं कर सकती, लेडी ऐसा नहीं कर सकती, बट वी want to educate them that this is wrong because I saw one of my very close friend, she died, उसने फांसी लगाई just because of her husband purpose. उस टाइम अगर हम सोशली सामने आए और बात करें नहीं ये वो चीज़ नहीं है कि आप इसे बताएं, आपको खुल के कहना होगा. एंड some person they say no we are a fight, we are women, we are कमज़ोर, like हम कमज़ोर हैं physically, mentally, even the most important thing the girls always, women always think we are financial not good because मर्द हमेशा family को support करता है, they think support करता है, they are a person of the order देने वाला या मेन पार्टी. तो हमेशा फीमेल्स उस चीज़ को नहीं समझ पाती है बहुत से केसेस में, और ये पीढ़ी दर पीढ़ी होने लग गया है. लाइक पिता को देखा है माँ को मारते हुए या डांटते हुए या किसी चीज़ को ना करने देने के लिए. फीमेल जाके पूछती क्या मैं ये कर सकती हूँ, क्या मुझे ये करना है, डोंट सी मुझे ये करना है, आई वांट टू गो एंड आई वांट टू डू दैट. नो आई डोंट थिंक आपने मुझसे परमिशन मांगी, नो आपने मुझसे परमिशन नहीं मांगी. तो दिस इज थिंग कि लेडीज़ हमेशा वुमेन्स हमेशा ये सोचती है कि हमें पहले परमिशन की ज़रूरत है एंड देन वी विल टेक वन स्टेप फॉरवर्ड. और मुझे लगता है कि एज अ पेजेंट हमें लोगों को जोड़ना होगा ताकि हम बाहर निकल के बात कर सकें लोगों से. फिजिकली, मेंटली, इमोशनली, फाइनेंशियल हमें उन्हें स्ट्रॉन्ग करना. अगर वो सोचती है कि अगर इस घर से मुझे निकाल दिया जाए तो मैं कहाँ जाऊँगी बिकॉज आई एम नॉट फिजिकल, मेंटली और फाइनेंशियली प्रॉपर. So they have a lot of institute or something like that. They support करते हैं कि आप उसी घर में रह सकते हो और आपको कोई कुछ नहीं कहेगा, या आपको एक अलग से घर दिया जाएगा जहाँ आप रह सकते हैं. थर्ड थिंग इज कि आपको आपका हस्बैंड एक रेंट हाउस लेके देगा एंड देन ही पे. अगर हम लोगों को इस तरीके से जागरूक करते हैं, देन वो समझ पाएंगे कि हाँ, हमें एक स्टेप फॉरवर्ड खुद के लिए करना होगा. और ये चीज़ बहुत ज़्यादा इम्पॉर्टेंट है कि आपको स्टार्ट खुद से करना होगा, तभी आप सामने वालों के लिए, समाज के लिए और देश के लिए कर पाओगे.
Well said, Priyanka. So, how are you going to use this platform to spread awareness about domestic violence? You said, right, one of your friends, she passed away. So, awareness is much needed. So, how are you going to use this platform to do that?
So, I already said we do some kids education activity based on that. So, one of the my friends is done. On that time, some more friends will go and visit a case. Well, हमने fight किया case मुझे पता. And right now he's doing something for his daughter, and she is like in Nana's house.
Okay.
So yeah, we इस टाइप से केस ना हो, the person don't feel like he died, या यही लास्ट ऑप्शन है कि मुझे अपनी लाइफ खत्म कर दीजिए. नहीं, यही आपकी शुरुआत है. बिकॉज एक संस्कृत का एक श्लोक है, अंत अस्ति प्रारंभ. आपको उस लाइफ को अंत करना होगा जिससे नहीं है, तभी आप न्यू चिल्ड्रन या न्यू थिंग या अपनी लाइफ को न्यू तरीके से स्टार्ट कर पाएंगे. दैट्स व्हाई आई एम सेइंग अंत अस्ति प्रारंभ.
That's a very well said. And Priyanka, thank you so much for believing that we should be vocal about being women considered the weakest section of society and advocate that domestic abuse. So, thank you so much, Priyanka. Have a lovely evening.
Thank you. Next contestant.
Wait, we're going back.
Contestant number 3, Bhavna.
The first category.
Yeah, first category, contestant.
Good evening, Bhavna.
No, maybe last one.
Give us one
First,
second.
the
First,
first
category,
one.
third person.
Okay, first category over here. Go back. Priyanka. No, go back. No, this
Yeah,
is
that
Priyanka.
is-
Yeah, last score. Which one?
That's
Priyanka.
Thank you.
She's in the score. No, she's in
I
the
feel
Feel good.
we'll have a question ready in a minute. We're just setting up on our side.
And we're coming back to the contestant number 3, right?
First,
Sorry for the delay.
So it's that. And Bhavna.
Bhavna, thank you.
Bhavna is the third.
Hi, Bhavna, welcome. Good evening. How are you?
Doing good. How are you?
Good. Thank you. You look amazing.
Thank you.
Please tell us a little bit about you.
Yes, I'm Bhavna Krituri. I'm coming from the state of Indiana. I'm the crown winner of Mrs. Bharat Indiana 2023, and I'm also the state director for Indiana Pageantry.
Amazing. So for tonight, I'm hoping that you win tomorrow. And can you share why you think it's important for society to be aware of domestic violence as an issue?
Yes, it is important for the society as a domestic violence as an issue, because as a society we can help each other to fight for domestic abuse. So it's like you have to stand for each other. So I want to create a platform so that all the society is involved. Like if there is a physical abuse for someone, there used to be a right channel that they go through. And if there is a domestic abuse for a victim, they can go through a doctor, a good gynecologist. So you can create a network by using the society. And it's when we use the society, they can empower others too. So the domestic, you can't have the domestic abuse in your family or in any other family.
Yeah, on the same note, right? So we think from our perspective, everybody has a perspective that domestic violence is just physical, but it could be emotional, financial, and also digital abuse now, right? So, how do we as a society can we educate what constitutes a domestic violence? How would you educate?
Yes, so I like to create public awareness events so that people get educated about domestic violence. There are different types of domestic violences, abuses, like physical abuse, mental abuse, financial abuse, sexual abuse. There are different kinds. So people need to know what are the different kinds, whether they are going through that abuse, because most of our, especially coming from South India or Indian Asian families, we don't feel that that's a abuse. That's that's the way of
That's a
life for
norm.
most of the people. So they need to know that's abuse 1st.
Mhm.
And second, you need to make sure they come and speak out. So and find the right resources. You need to gather the right resources first. You need to gather right resources and share with them via social media or any other public campaigning events. Also, you can also use the domestic abuse survivors to come and share their story, so that they can inspire and empower others and educate others. Thank you.
Thank you. That's it.
Thank you.
The mic goes there.
Thank you.
Good evening, judges. I'm Divya Srivastava, and I'm representing New Jersey State. I'm a crown winner of New Jersey State of 2024. I'm here in front of you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, and so is you.
How are you feeling?
I am quite excited. I was a little nervous outside, but now I'm all set, ready to answer the questions.
Okay. So my question to you, Julia, is what message do you want to send to victims of domestic violence?
So, I believe the victims, there's a gap between the knowledge. The victims basically do not, they fail at the first step when they want to recognize that, okay, they are going through this phase and they are undergoing domestic abuse or abusive relationship. So, they need to first understand. So, there should be some kind of awareness that some awareness sessions so that they are aware of the things that are happening around them. So first education is a must, and then once they are aware of the things, they should be knowing of the sources that are available for them to come out of that abusive relationship. So there are so many things that the government is doing. There are support systems. There are organizations that help them empower them to come out of that abusive relationship. So they need to know the sources that are available to them, and that's how they will come fearlessly out of that relationship, knowing that once they're out, they will be able to rebuild themselves. They will be able to come out and inspire others, because there is this one saying that when one woman stands for herself, she stands up for all the women. So we need to make them understand this thing.
So when it comes to domestic violence or abuse, do you feel like the government, you just said that there were a lot of resources, do you feel that the resources in place today are doing the job? Do you think that they are really effective in really combating this issue?
Certainly, there are a lot of resources that are available. Where we are lacking is the awareness is not that much right now. So we need to make the victims aware of the resources that are available to them. There are so many support systems that are available. There are organizations, they can go to them. There are helplines, they can go to them. But it's just that they are not aware of those resources. So just awareness is one thing, and then education. So education starts from anywhere, from family. Being a parent, we can start instilling those ideas of a healthy relationship to our children. In the schools, they should know, they should be knowing what a healthy relationship is. So in that manner, we need to educate the people so that they can recognize, and then they can take those steps, because resources are there. We have to be able to identify that, okay, this is happening to me, so I need to take a step. Where should I go? So there are, if you just go on a Google, I mean, you have to look for first of all, you have to identify, okay, this is happening to me. Once you're able to identify this, so you'll be able to get all the resources online. So there are a lot of systems, but the thing that we're lacking in is the awareness. So we need to make that.
Yeah, and one more thing, people are afraid to really get involved. Sometimes you may know something that's going on, and you're afraid to say anything, or to make a phone call, or to get involved. So what would you say to that person who knows that something is taking place, that there's some abuse going on, whether it be child abuse or domestic violence situation between a man and a family member? What would you say to them? How to the best way to get involved to say something to prevent that?
So, a very common question that is being asked to a domestic violence abuse a victim is that, why did you come out of this abusive relationship when it was happening to you? So, the biggest reason is fear, because they don't know how to come out of it, because there are 80% of domestic abuse, murders, or deaths happen when the person comes out of that abusive relationship, because then the abuser is not going to lose anything. So that person doesn't have the fear of losing something, and they cannot even digest that this happened. This person was able to take control of their lives. So that's when all of these happenings happen, and that's what bothers the victim to take a harsh step of coming out, right? So what I would say is that when this awareness things comes again, right? So we need to raise awareness. We need to let them know that, let the police know, let the cops know, let the society know. Open up, speak about it, share your thoughts, and then if everyone knows about it, that person is, they cannot take those harsh steps, and society will make sure that you are safe, you are doing your best, and you are able to rebuild your life. So society will take care of that. You just have to take care of yourself. So,
Next.
It's very cold.
Yeah.
I'm glad I'm wearing a blazer, and I think somewhere you're bundled up with this.
For me, like it's all like hitting my waist. And my open waist. Oh gosh.
You have a nice boots as well. That's comfy.
Yeah, that's probably thank God.
Thank you.
Yeah, these are super comfy now. I would have been agitated if it said
Hi. I'm so excited to meet so many lovely ladies. I have, in my life, have never had an interview of all women, so it's very inspiring. My name is Amber Euler. I am from Florida. I'm your Mrs. Florida. I'm a mother of 3. My husband is a news anchor for CBS, and you would probably be surprised to know that I have spent the last 3.5 years on a 160-pound weight loss journey so that I could be here tonight. So this was my dream, and I'm here. I'm very excited. As Mrs. Florida, I've done over 100 appearances. My passion is swim safety and drowning prevention. When I was 5 years old, I was a non-fatal drowning victim. I did what a lot of children do and snuck away from my parents and fell into a lake. Luckily, they found me and I was revived. So my mission has been to help further that conversation. As Mrs. Florida, I got bill passed for free swim lessons for children 5 and under, and with the National Drowning Prevention Alliance, I launched a national water watcher card that went out to schools in all 50 states.
Amazing.
Congratulations.
Congratulations on all of that.
I'm on a mission.
Yeah, so, Mrs. Universe, we are focused on the topic of domestic abuse, right? So, in relation to that, I would like to ask you, how would you explain the difference between physical and emotional abuse to someone unfamiliar with the topic?
So I am on the board of the Spring of Tampa Bay, which is the #1 domestic violence safe house in Florida. Every year my husband does a Taking Action Against Domestic Violence 1-hour special for CBS. And during that time we see the phone lines skyrocket by up to 700%. And I think the thing about physical abuse, 1 in 4 women experience it and 1 in 10 men. Most people don't know that men are also victims of domestic violence. But also the mental abuse, I think, is much, much more. And my work on the board is I work with the women who are staying in the safe house. So we have separated them from the abuser, and I help them with their resumes. I help them rewrite their resumes so that they can get a better, more gainful employment so that they can then leave that situation. Unfortunately, women have to leave up to 7 times before the leave sticks and takes. And so that is one thing that I think people don't realize is that when you hear the word domestic violence, you know, you always think physical, but it can absolutely be mental abuse as well.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for that answer.
Thank you. I have a confidence question on that. So, for example, you know that domestic violence is very common, and sometimes people take advantage as well. Like, for example, people not going through any domestic violence and they lie about it. So, in that situation, what would be what steps would you take if you see one of your known friends are doing this? So, what would you do about it?
So can you rephrase the question?
Yes.
Is it
Like, for example, if you know someone is lying, that
they're being abused and they're
but
hiding
they're
it?
not, yeah.
So that's very common. When
Yeah.
we say 1 in 4 women are victims of domestic violence and 1 in 10 men, that's what we know and that's what comes forward. I believe it's much more than that. And when you talk to your friends about it, they always say, you know, oh, I had a boyfriend in high school who even hit me. It happens as even in young as middle school and high school we're finding. So in the shelter, when the women come, we also have a program for the children. We take the children out of their school and they go to school at the shelter to keep it safe. The address of the shelter is redacted and everything like that. And so when you get them alone and you are able to talk to them, you would be surprised. I've talked to kids as young as middle school who say that their, you know, boyfriend or girlfriend, you know, their little middle school boyfriend or girlfriend is bullying them, like, you know, saying mean things about them. And unfortunately, we even had one situation, a mother who had a daughter in high school, and her son's girlfriend kept saying, you should kill yourself, and he did. And so people don't even realize that it can happen at that young of age, and it happens so much more than you would think. But in my time working at the Spring of Tampa Bay, it's been very rewarding. One thing I'm looking forward to when I get back next week is we are having a Christmas drive, and it's all presents for the mothers. So it's like beauty products and wonderful things like that. And all the kids get to come, and we get to help them pick out a gift for their mother so that their mother gets a gift on Christmas as well. Yeah, so that's very fun. I'm looking forward to that as your Mrs. Florida or maybe your Mrs. Universe USA.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you so much.
So I think I have one follow-up question, if you don't mind.
Yes.
I think you answered that the people who are getting abused and you know what you're gonna do about it. I'm saying the people, like for example, if your friend, right, like tell you that she is getting abused, but she is actually not getting abused. What you gonna do about that?
I think you have to just trust people and take it for their word. I think with domestic violence, usually people don't come forward because there's shame and humiliation about it, and they feel like there's something that they did. And sometimes they even convince themselves that this person wouldn't do this to me if they didn't love me so much. So I think you see much more of a problem with people actually being abused and hiding it rather than falsely claiming it. But I do believe that if somebody is falsely claiming that, like, you know, that could ruin someone's life, you know, to put false allegations against them. And so, I would definitely make sure to say, like, make sure you're being honest and forthright and telling the truth. Absolutely.
Sounds good. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you so much. Thank you for a wonderful interview. Thank you so much for being here.
Excellent. Yes.
Hello. So I'm Pujita, contestant number 6.
Hi.
Can you tell us about yourself?
So,
Just 2 words.
okay, I'm an operations manager in IT, and I'm a dancer, model, and I work in cultural organization as a culture coordinator, and I have 2 beautiful kids, and I stay in Ohio.
Okay. All the way from Ohio. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yes. So, what do you think are the warning signs or red flags of domestic violence? What is your opinion? And how do you feel about it?
Thank you so much for your question. You know it when someone, like, even you, if you have to ask a permission for every small thing, and even the small things, like if someone is talking to you and they are raising their voice, that is like starting point of domestic violence. We don't know it because that's very common in our households. And slowly and people also, like, they want to control you, even that is also a problem. I mean, it shows like it's domestic violence, like it is a start of it.
Okay.
That is really good answer. So my question would be a follow-up question. So suppose you have someone, your friends and family, or maybe yourself, you're going through domestic abuse. You know the signs. What steps would you take to come out of it?
Thank you for your question. So if it's me, then I think the most challenging for every woman is like they're not financially stable. That's stopping them to come out of it. So I would say, like, I would empower women to be have their education and start working, or at least they have to have that support system where they can tell it. So maybe if I have good support system, I can tell them, and that way I'll be collaborating, and I'll be getting the resources and the support system to help me out.
I mean, that's very correct answer, because first you have to be strong yourself and make believe the other person, right? So, what if, like, we have heard, right? Adding to that question, we have heard so many times that people are aware of domestic abuse, but still they want to stay in that, right? So, but again, you're aware. So, why do you think people want to be still a victim of domestic abuse? What is that thing which stops them from believing it and be in a self-denial position?
I think few people think they're not alone, like there are like very less people who have that domestic violence, but the truth is there are many people who are suffering. But I believe like it's financial stability, like if you're not independent, and also it's like social pressure. And for kids, like few people stay with kids, they want like both parents should be in the relationship, so kids will be like a nice well-being, but they are not understanding that if they stay in that relationship, it won't affect, like it's still harmful for the kids, and I think those are the main causes.
Yeah, that's absolutely true, because the societal pressure is there. Then there's of course an embarrassment, getting divorced and all. But do you think it's really important, once you realize domestic abuse, you should put an effort to come out of it? Like, do you believe you should,
Yeah,
or
we
still
should.
save the relationship?
No, we should come out of it. You should never go back to that abuser.
Thank you so much, and have a lovely evening.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
We have one contestant, her name is Prableen. Last third. Prableen, can we have you now?
The last category, number
Yeah,
nine.
that
Was
is
Pooja.
Prableen.
How do we go back? It's MS.
MS. Prableen?
She's the last category.
No, last.
Probably.
पूरा picture जाओ. The main homepage. Yeah, okay. MS.
or last category.
Yeah, and then the last one.
Go all the way back. Would you good evening? All the way back. Hi, Praveen.
Yeah, could you please start with introducing yourself?
Sure. Well, everybody knows my name, Prableen Gaur,
Mhm.
and I'm very passionate about working in data field. Why is that? Is because I get to know a lot of information about the whole community, how are the things going in around the world, and from those, I guess I can make a good decision for myself, and also suggest others how to make good decision on any kind of thing that they're dealing with or they need help with. Other than that, I like working with children, and I'm a spiritual person. I don't go by religion. That means that any religion that comes next to me, they're a human being, and I wouldn't judge them with from their color and which religion they belong to, what kind of culture they are following. I keep an open mind there, basically. Other than that, I have a master's in information systems, and I'm just looking forward to do a lot in the society, helping women, collaborating with each other, and making ways for women to like have a good life, basically. Because I think women have to deal a lot with coping up with the cultures, and even though we are in the United States, but there are still things that we can notice that women are dying because they're not getting any kind of help whenever they need, basically.
Okay.
So a life looks happy only when it's happy, but when a woman is in trouble, I think she's in very big trouble. And I don't want to see that woman going through that, or children.
It's a good way to segment into our topic for today, right? So, how do you think we can create system, right, that can actually make the abuser accountable, right, and also better support the survivors of domestic violence?
That's a very good question, and I think I'm a perfect candidate for that, because I endured 20 years of not to put myself into a situation where it's saying that I should be sorry for this situation, but I was actually myself in one of this abusive marriage, and I'm trying to get out of it, hopefully soon. And the ways to actually see who's the abuser is not just by going who's trying to play as a victim. So we need to see the history. Is this person was abusing? So suppose there is a man and a woman, and then the man goes out or in the whole community saying that he was the victim of this situation, but no one knows woman was not even allowed to go outside and talk about the abuse she was enduring. But man has to put this persona everywhere. Oh, whenever I go home, my woman does that. But who saw that woman did any of that? So the point I'm making here is, don't just go by the stories that other people are telling you. Like, look into it, find out what was going on inside the house, and I think we can save a lot of marriages if we find the wrong person and keep them, hold them accountable for what they have done to the woman or women have done to the man.
Prableen, thank you very much. First, I have to commend you for sharing your story, but more importantly, you do come across as very stoic, resilient woman,
Thank you so much.
and I wish you all the best. Question I have for you, I heard you have a degree in information systems,
Yes.
and tell me, how can media play a constructive role in changing societal perception around domestic violence?
How can media do this? Not telling the fake stories. Again, this goes back to like finding out the story instead of like, one person came and said, I have someone abusing me at house, and not looking at what is the fact about it. So if you actually go ahead and look my legal history, you will not see any kind of abuse. But if you will see my partner, there will be a bunch of police reports filed, bunch of abuse happening with the children. There were times when he was out and police caught him. So those things are like something that you can look into. So technology makes it easy in a way that we can probably look into a website which can, one of the women who's like my mother to me, she sent me a website where I was able to see my ex's criminal history. So not only the things that I knew that he was doing wrong, there were things that I was not aware of. So using those websites, looking into people's history, how they are, I think can make us find the person who's at fault.
Absolutely. Thank you for that
Yes.
explanation. But we're also in that day and age where we have social media content creator and there are
Right.
fake reviews and fake information.
That's a
So
lot.
as an information specialist,
Yes.
how will you advise people to utilize media in a constructive way?
I guess not to react about it when you listen to a news. I guess do your own research, because if there is a negative things about a person, I can give you an example. Suppose the media goes about saying that probably is this, probably is that. I don't want to use the wrong word, but suppose someone says I'm a bitch. Find where it's called I'm a bitch, right? Because you're gonna see on the internet, no, I have a master's degree in information technology. I have 2 children. I had successful life of 20 years. Even if it was an abusive marriage, I try to make my ways out of this and not care about the abuse that's happening and actually make myself more busy with my own work and my own children. And I raise 2 handsome young men who are like 17 and 13 at this point.
Fantastic. Probably wish you all the best
All the best.
and thank you very much. Stay strong.
Thank you. Are we
Amazing.
done?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, my pleasure.
You have your back. Thank you. Probably corner.
Yeah, that was good.
Probably she was Miss.
MS. Yeah, now
Good evening.
I'm contestant number 7. I'm representing Maryland.
Yes. Hello.
goes back to them. How was your day? Was it a long day with practices and
It's a
stuff?
long day.
Well, how are you? Wonderful. So, tell us, what do you do? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm a homemaker. Mother of 2. Right now I have a ADHD kid, so I have to take care of him like at home. He needed me. I used to work as a software engineer, but after kids, like I stopped working. I'm a full-time mother.
So, you're a full-time mother.
Yes.
So, how do you manage with a child who you say that you have to give special care or need to?
It's not that easy. So you have to train him, especially like he's very active. Like we have to give him proper time for each and everything. Like we have to make him his energy to spend. Like you have to make him like do all the like for example he has to do all the like jumping activities and occupational therapy and all that helps him and also like he needed like some certain therapies for him.
So, from your experience, do you feel like this is a field that you may want to go into to help other parents or families deal with situations such as yours?
Of course, like there are schools for this particular therapies, like government schools. Like they'll help us, like how to. They'll help us, like they'll give suggestions on how to help the kids, like how to raise them, because it's so much pressure for the parents who have like special needed kids. They have special ability schools for that. So with them, through them, like it's easy for so many of us, like how to raise them.
You're doing a great job.
So my question is related to that. How, if you win the crown tomorrow, how would you use the crown to bring awareness of such
Thank you so much for the question. It's a domestic abuse is a serious issue. It affects many individuals even today. So I have seen it within my community, especially related to dowry and patriarchy in my hometown. It's still happening. So these women lose their freedom to make choices. So I want to help them, raise awareness through all of you guys, people like you. So through my pageant, I want to, through my platform, I want to show compassion, share stories, and help the victims rebuild their confidence without the fear of oppression. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good.
Hello, hey, how are you doing?
First of all, good evening to all. My name is Gino, and I'm representing to Virginia. I'm so excited to hear to today's session.
Thank you. So my question is, what do you believe are the most significant causes of domestic violence, and how can society work to address them?
So many types of abuse that are domestic violence against, like physicals, sexuals, and controlling money, and many types to abuses for the women for the domestic violence. So I would like to say, just like coming out for the relationship, you will have to be domestic violence against. So many type of the communities help, and the many type of the laws that are outside of the government making. So why you just feel no, I am not good at. So girls always be happy, and girls always do that for the work, the life, and I love the me. So why do that for the domestic violence? That most important things, because my Virginia state that have to most die for the women is a domestic violence against, because she is have to husband is like a very talkative. So she's my friend, and I was like, oh my god, she's a die because of the domestic victim. And Mamta Kafil Bhatt, everyone's know that. She is a nurse and she's very powerful, but now she's a victim of the domestic violence. So that's why, because no family is supporting. So why this is the happening? First of all, family is going to be support, and governments have to be strictly laws that. So yes, that's going to be happening. So I would like to say, first of all, you just coming out, figure out your families, then you can do outside leader for the women. So why you should shut it out for your speak? That's good things for like domestic violence against.
So to follow up with that, how can friends or family members best help someone who suspects experiencing domestic violence? How can someone watching, family members, friends, how would you?
I just say, women's not talking to against domestic violence, right? Because she just suffering that situations. So I just would like to say, why you just feel like that victim for the domestic violence, and families, that's the most important things, like support all, that's a victim, right? So yeah, that's the bigger things I never to look at for the domestic violence against, but you just bring it out of family and spoke it outside and big breath and the positivity, so you can do that, we can do that better than for domestic violence.
As I study recognizing her Hi, good evening.
My name is Pallavi Raj, and I'm contestant number 09.
Hi, Pallavi.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So how are you doing now?
I'm good. Getting adjusted to the climate contrast. Coming from Houston and New Jersey, like a big contrast.
So I would like to hear about you. So tell me something about yourself.
Okay, so I am a passionate dancer. I think like most of the contestants here. And besides that, I'm a dedicated fitness enthusiast because I truly believe by maintaining a healthy lifestyle, you're not just doing good to yourself, but to all those around you. So that's a little bit about me. Yeah, and besides that, I'm an IT professional, and I'm a proud mom of two amazing kids.
That's amazing. So we do know that we are here to talk about a very important topic, domestic abuse. My question to you would be, what are the different cycles of domestic abuse, and what cycle do you think is very important and crucial to prevent domestic abuse?
Okay. There is a set pattern of these domestic abusers, or rather manipulators, I would say. So it starts with the honeymoon period, wherein they're all praise about you. It's all the fairy tale story, the kind of story you see in Bollywood movies. So that's where you get, all convinced and you're all allured by the abuser. And then comes the abuse period, because by then you're totally like into him, and then you are abused. And post that is the apology period, wherein they come back, they ask for apology, they ask for forgiveness. And I feel at that point of time, most of the women, they feel powerful. They they're coming back to us. And that's where, even if they're thinking of coming out of that toxic relationship, they stay. And post that, again, the circle goes on and on and on. So I feel like that moment, when they ask for your forgiveness, you need to be strong enough. And that's where the mindset come into picture. If you're powerful enough, or you're mentally fit, or economically strong, all that come into picture. And then you'll be able to come out of that. So I feel that's the most crucial phase of that cycle.
Yeah, I do echo with what you said. It's very important to break the cycle,
Right.
and I find that why it's so important. So, very well said, but I would have Lydia to.
Yes.
So, for this kind of scenario, what message would you like to give to the domestic violence survivors, and how to tackle the situation that they're going through currently with high hopes and empowerment?
Yeah, I think there are a couple of aspects that we need to look into. But getting those victims out of those toxic relationships. First is, I feel economic stability is really important. When you are stable economically, you're able to take care of yourself and all those around you. You don't feel like trapped in that relationship. It's like you are capable enough, and you don't have to be in that relationship just to be sustained, right? So that is one of the aspects. Besides that, the mental fitness, as I said, it is a new mental health. So there's a concept in IT industry, shift left, wherein we focus on the prevention rather than the remediation. So mental fitness is all about proactively taking care of your mental health and making sure that you're mentally fit and healthy. And when you come up in a situation like this, your foundation is robust, right? And you are powerful enough, and you are capable, and you can take that step of coming out of that toxic relationship. So I think these are the two areas. If we focus on those, we can definitely help out those victims who are dealing with the act of violence.
Well said.
Very nice.
Yes.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
for
Good
your
job.
Good luck.
insights.
Have a lovely
Good
day.
luck.
Pallavi Raj.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
I like my number.
To the parents, and she knows
And she
about
answered.
it.
I have a hard question.
I will ask her.
They both are at the same time.
I'll get it.
Oh, that's
Hi.
my question. Hi, good evening. Please introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Born and raised in a small town
in Andhra Pradesh in a deeply conservative family where women were not allowed to work. Yet, I watched my mother breaking all the barriers and created her own path for freedom. Her courage taught me to dream big without having any limitations. Today, I'm an IT professional, a mixologist, and someone who is fearless to lift weights at the gym. And as they say, the future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. Today, I believe in myself. I'm sitting in front of you all. Thank you.
Beautiful. And sorry I missed your name. You are
Lakshmi Mamdala.
Thank you, Lakshmi. Thank you very much. So, with this strong, solid background, how do you think our educational institutions, colleges, can play a role in addressing domestic violence?
So education and colleges or even the society, they play a vital role in addressing domestic violence. So as someone coming from a technology background, I really want to promote all the technology apps. Recently, I came across an app which is a statue finder, mostly like the domestic violence survivors, so the victims, they don't know their fundamental rights and they don't know the statute codes. So recently I came across this powerful AI app which can help the victims to know their statute codes. And this will help the law enforcement officials too. Like, like any victim, they can just give their statute code and then they can talk to the officials and also the attorneys. So I really want to promote all the technology and all the technology apps related to that. And also, there are a few other apps which I really want to promote, which is like DocuSign. You can document the evidence in technology on your phone. So, yep, that's how I
like
Amazing.
That's a new take on it. AI.
Just
Cutting edge technology. Yeah, that's amazing.
So far, right? It's all the contestants said that why do victims they're scared to come out of the abusive relationship, right? So most of you guys answered, okay, it's a financial instability and all that, right? So tell me, there are many contestants here who are homemakers, okay, who are dependent on their fathers or husbands, right? So in that situation, how do you think the society can help them because they're not financially independent?
So the first step, I believe, is to create a safe space and be non-judgmental. When a victim is going through a lot, you all need to we all need to be non-judgmental. That's the first step, I believe. And also, I believe no one deserves to live in fear. And safety is a basic fundamental right, and it's not a privilege. So I strongly believe that when we promote safe space and also providing the resources like the legal aid and also the shelters or anything like that, that will help the victims to come out of the stigma.
Okay.
And most likely, all the victims, they always feel like it is happening only to them.
Yeah.
Only once their story comes out, they will be inspiring other people too.
Yeah, the shelters are really important, which
Yes.
I think it's there's a lot on the local government side that they need to do on this. But well said. Thank you.
The AI was a new thing I learned today.
Thank you.
Thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank you
so much. You are very good. Have a lovely evening.
Thank you. You as well. Thank you. Yeah.
That's so smart.
Yeah. Guys, we have to be fast. We just finished only 12 contestants.
That's it.
Wow.
How many?
Only 12.
Only 12.
Should we narrow it down to 2 minutes?
Yeah.
2 minutes. Let's start.
Hello. Love your outfit. I love your whole look.
Good evening. Good evening. Introduce yourself. I'm Swati. Born and raised in Bangalore. I grew up in a joint family, and today I'm here in New York, representing Connecticut State and community law number 7. I'm excited for it. I'm a mom of 2, and I am a partner coach here. I work at medical device company, and I work on restoration patient monitors. It's something that I connect deeply to because it's something that I have a personal story to when my grandma was admitted in the hospital. So that's why I chose to
part of what I'm here for is advocating for what I believe in, and that would be sustainable and social equality. And really excited to be a part of this platform and hear the chance of the causes that I love to do.
My question to you would be, what motivates you to fight for the rights of domestic violence victims?
I believe domestic violence is something that is violation of a relationship of love, trust, and respect in a relationship, which is the foundation of every relationship. And everybody needs to get that love, respect that they deserve. And the very fact that domestic violence and the abuser and the victim are in a relationship that does not have that love and respect is the very reason that we need to fight domestic violence in the first place.
What would you say to someone who thinks that domestic violence is a private matter?
I believe domestic violence is both personal and a societal issue. And the reason why I believe that is because it's not just about relationship between two people, but it's about how it impacts generations to come. Because two people are actually in a wrong relationship. Imagine a small kid actually looking at their parents in that relationship, and imagine what that impact leaves on that kid and how our future generations are impacted. So it's more to how it actually is translated to our future generations and our further betterment of the world rather than just a small relationship.
Thank you. Very well said.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Love her.
Love when you
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. So can you start with just introducing yourself first?
Yeah, sure. My name is Samita Mahi Singh, and I'm from California.
Welcome.
Thank you.
How are you dealing with jet lag? I feel that California sometimes is worse than India.
I know. 3 hours is good.
Very good question. So, how can workplaces help employees who might be experiencing domestic violence?
I think to begin with, all workplaces must have like great inclusive policies that also empower not only women but people of all gender, all races, so that they are more aware, so that the policies and the trainings make the employees more aware of what their rights are, and making them realize that getting abused or abusing someone physically, mentally, sexually is never okay. Whether they agree with someone or whether they don't like someone or their perspectives or their ideas, violence is never the answer. And everybody has right to say their opinion. Everybody has right to feel safe at home. So I think when at workplaces they start off with these policies and these initiatives, obviously then people at home too can apply to that.
That's right.
So just we talked about the workplace. Let's talk about how can communities better support shelters and resources for survivors. We spoke about the workplace angle to it. Now, outside of the workplace, what would you like to add to that conversation?
Yeah, so I think obviously communities play big roles, because the biggest reason for domestic violence is that the victims feel the fear of not only the culprits, the families, but also the society itself, and their hopelessness in our legal systems. So I think as community we need to show that we are here for the survivors, for the victims, and once they have raised their voice, provide them safe space to be able to share their stories without any fear of judgment or shame. And once they have come out of it, also help them rebuild their lives with resources like, first of all, providing them education if they need more education, or also like help with finding a job so they can become more financially independent. Because I think once they become financially independent, they can also support themselves and not having to be dependent on others and go through the domestic violence.
Very well said. Thank you for the answers. Thank you.
Done? All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Next.
I think we're going down to 2-minute questionnaires now.
I mean, she answered fast.
Very,
so
yes.
yeah, like fast.
She was very
Yeah.
exactly. Hi everyone.
Hi.
How are you guys? Good, thank you. How are you doing? I'm good, thank you.
Hey, can you introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Suki Kaur. I'm from California, and I work as a real estate agent. I've been doing it for over 10 years now. Two beautiful babies. Well, not babies anymore. They're 9 and 11.
Be louder.
Oh, be louder. Sorry. Okay, yeah. So.
Okay, what
Sorry, which
category are you
category?
in? Sorry, we can't locate your name.
Sure, I believe I'm in the elite category.
Mrs. Elite.
Okay.
Suki.
You have to go back.
Suki Kaur.
Okay.
This is elite. Okay.
Oh,
Yep,
the first
second
one.
category. Yes.
Okay. If my question to you is, if you are crowned tomorrow as Mrs. Universe, how would you use this platform to advocate against domestic violence?
Great, thanks for asking. If I do win Mrs. Universe USA, I would use first of all, my background as a little child. When I was growing up, I've not exactly dealt with, but I've witnessed domestic violence, from a very small village in India. I've seen women, including my mom, my grandma, go through it. You don't really realize it when you're little, like what exactly it is. But recently participated in Mrs. Universe California, I realized, and we had the same topic, and we were discussing domestic violence. As I'm learning and I'm thinking, it took me right back to my childhood, and I'm like, this is a great opportunity to speak what my mom and what my grandmom had been through. And not just the women, right? It doesn't really impact the women, it impacts the children, the families. And I felt like I fought a silent war within myself. And in a way, I'm grateful because now I can use this platform, which is an amazing opportunity and an honor. Use this platform to raise an awareness, but also not just for a bigger audience, for my kids. I want to start off with my daughter. I have a 9 years old, and my son as well. Domestic violence is not just about female. So definitely, I think it's a great opportunity to use this platform to promote.
How would you contribute? What would be your contribution?
My contribution would be to share my story, I would say. Share my story, my strength, and how did I deal with it, and give the strength to other women or male to fight with it, I would say. That's what my story would be. Yeah.
So, like you mentioned about your story, right? You have seen your parents, your grandparents going through that. So, how do you, or what steps, did you take any steps to make them believe that they should have done something or talked to anything, or how would you do that now if you see in your child, right?
Yeah.
What steps do you take that?
Yeah, absolutely. I was very little when I witnessed it. I didn't think I had the sources or the courage to speak up. You're in a small village, you only can say so much. You're not allowed to give your own opinion. Right now, yes, I think I came to the United States at the age of 14, and I think this country's given me so much, a lot of strength to speak up and
everything that I didn't have back home. So we have a voice now as a women, and my mom had to go through it, and I felt like I wish she never did. And right now, yes, I would speak up by sharing, again, just sharing what I've been through, but also just providing resources and telling people, speak up. Don't hold back your fear, because if we don't speak up, there's no help. No one's gonna come and guess like somebody's. It's extremely hard to meet somebody and guess like if they're going through something, especially if they don't speak up.
That's very well said. You have to be a support system for
Yes.
those, anyone, whether it's family or relative, but it needs to be. So,
Yeah.
thank you, Sikhi, for your
Thank
answer.
you. So nice meeting you all. Thank you so
Good
much.
night.
Wow. I asked you one question.
What category are we going to? I don't know until they come.
Hi.
Hi, namaste, Ram Ram.
Namaste.
Can I say?
Yes, please.
Sure.
Thank you.
Can you? What is your category? Sorry,
My category
Mrs.
is
Elite.
elite.
Mrs. A.
So she.
So Sheila.
Okay.
Sheila, yeah.
Yes.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah. Would you please introduce yourself?
Yes, so I'm Sushila Yadav and I'm mother of two kids. I grew up in a village where girls are often seen as a burden, and they used to force get married in their early age. My parents, they believed in me and they sent me a city hostel where I just did not focus on my studies, but I worked hard in sports and I represent my country at national level in kabaddi and volleyball at regional level.
Wow.
After moving here in 2010, I became executive of Santa Clara Cricket Club and then cultural secretary of Haryana Bay Area Association.
Wow, that's like almost you're into 3 sports, better
Yes.
than me.
I'm passionate about cricket, yeah.
Okay, so that's very well said, because you're from your background. So based on that, I want to ask you. So, let's take the root causes. What do you think are the root causes, and where does domestic violence stem from? And also, do you think there are any specific cultural, societal, or systematic factors that actually make them pervasive?
Okay, so what I've seen from my childhood. So I'll pick one topic that if we start from there, that is a root cause. We need to educate our girls. We need to make them independent. If they are independent, they are capable to raise their voices, and then they can reach to their dreams. So that is the reach, and that starts from within. Everyone, if they take a start, if they start.
That's okay. Don't worry about it.
So
Ignore it.
if everyone start from their within, right? If they start educating their girls, make them independent. Don't force them to get married in their early age. So that way they'll be more independent to take their choices and raise their voices.
Good job.
Hi, welcome. I actually was very impressed to hear that you played kabaddi on a national level. That's really outstanding. What role do you think men play in our society in ending domestic violence?
Okay, so including man in our society, that is very crucial. That we should include our man in our women empowerment. If we add them and introduce them, that what is the meaning of equality, right? So they will get to know that what is the value of equality. If they start from at household work, if they if they start work and share the work from home, we could see that the woman doesn't need to go through that all the phases to make a balance between the working and working woman, between the balancing the house with the child and all the chores. So those are very important. If we open the workshop and introduce them, if we teach our own kids that what is the importance of the equality, so that way we can make a better future for women.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next. Next.
We may have to go back to the category.
Ashwini.
From what category?
Mrs. Elite.
Elite as well. Ashwini.
No.
Yes.
Hi,
Ashwini.
Ashwini.
What category are you in?
I'm in Mrs. Elite.
Don't see her name there.
My name is Ashwini Kapali. I'm contestant
Is it
number
there?
15.
No, I don't have it. Yeah, we don't have it.
Her name
Just
is
one
on-
second.
Can you check her name, Ashwini Kapali?
It's under Mrs.
Mrs.
Yes, it is under
That's okay. You just have her name. That's
Mrs. Elite?
No, Mrs.
Mrs.
Universe?
Mrs.
Oh, the first one.
Got it.
Okay. The first one.
Ashwini. Yes,
Yeah,
I found
okay.
it. It's in the first category.
Okay.
Welcome, Ashwini.
Sorry about that.
Technology problems. How's your day?
It's been amazing.
Ashwini Kapali, yes.
Okay.
They're gonna ask.
And Ashwini, my question to you would be, how does the media portray domestic violence and is it helpful?
So sometimes media truly do not share true things, but sometimes if they share true stories, if woman is really not the woman, if the victim is really going through this domestic abuse or any certain issues, and if they bring it to that platform and they try to interview them and try to tell their real stories, that's how I think the message can get delivered very nicely and reaches to heart. One of my friend was going through domestic abuse, and then she told me that she saw an interview of such and such woman, and then she got inspired, and then she said that made me realize that I'm going through real big issue, and that's how she stepped on it, and she tried to get out of it. So I think social media plays very big role into it if they use the right way towards it.
So what role does family and friends help survivors to recover? What role do family and friends help survivors recover?
I think they play a very big role. If victim knows that they have a very good support that they can go to, and it's a very safe place for them, that they are going to hear them without any judgment. They are going to provide them backbone and support, and if they need any financial support, if they need any kind of help getting out of that problem, they will feel safe to reach out to them if they are in certain issues, certain condition or certain situation. So I think it's very important to have this kind of support. I want to share something. My father, he helped a lot of these kind of victims. So actually he is a retired lecturer, and he helped little kids who were little poor and who had so much potential, but they could not go further just because of the financial issues, and most of them were having these kind of problems at their home, that they were going through domestic violence issue, and that they were not able to go further. So my father helped them to get a financial aid and provide them a shelter and get them whatever aid he could get into. But he also wanted us to be like safe from there, so he wanted us not to listen or hear all these stories. But I have seen people coming to him because they knew he can help them get out of it.
That's amazing.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you. Next.
Rashmi ji. One question each.
One question.
That's it. We do speed rounds. You come here.
One question.
Yep.
Just one.
Targeted, just one question each. Live.
Okay, go ahead.
Good evening, everyone.
Hi.
Good evening. How are you doing?
Good. Lovely.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Sure. My name is Gopika Nerula, and I'm representing New England in Mrs. Universe USA. I am Mrs. part of New England title winner from 2019. I'm really excited to be here.
So, what do you think are the root causes of domestic violence?
That's a very good question, and a question that I can go on and on, but I'll keep it short. There's not just one root cause. There are so many factors. Our society is made up of so many different kind of people. Our belief system, it's very different. But I don't think even education has changed people. Even well-educated people, they abuse women in their family who are not someone who's not educated, who doesn't know how to carry herself. We are talking about well-educated women in high society families being mistreated. And it's coming from, it's the illness in their mind. They believe that it's okay to mistreat someone just because they can. Or another outlook can be, I know things are changing, but still, if you go to some parts of the country, it's male-dominated society. And it's a very sad part, but sometimes we, the women, we don't take control, we don't take a stand for ourselves. First time it happens, we say, it's okay, not a problem, it will pass. Second time it happens, it's okay. And then, before we know, it's a habit. We are used to it. And then it's just a cycle, we just cannot get out of it. We don't know how to get out of it. And by the time you understand what's happening with me, a lot has happened already. Any physical abuse, any mental abuse, any emotional abuse, it breaks a person. And when you break a person, it's not easy to take a stand. We expect, yes, hey, you know what? This is happening with you. Take a stand. But we don't see how broken that person is. She needs that support. She needs that assurance that yes, I can do well on my own. I can support myself. But she needs that assurance. And how does she get that? From her friends, from her family. And there are many families they don't support. I mean, if a woman says, I'm being emotionally abused, physically abused, or in any form, and I need support, so there are some parents that will be like, hey, give it a try. Maybe you can do something else. But they need that support. We need to let our daughters, our sisters, our friends, that we need to let them know they're not alone. They can talk to someone. They can get all the help they need. And that awareness we need to create. I wish we could take care of the root causes, but there is not one root cause we can pinpoint. There's so many things. Some people just want to, they have the power. Some people they cover it in their cultural belief. This is our system, this is how society is, this is how our families, this is how we think, and it's okay to do that. And it's all right thing to do. And that's what I think about it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you. Good luck.
Yes.
Did I
Yes.
answer the questions?
Yes.
Yes.
Definitely. It's a very nice topic. Yep. Take care. Thank you, dear.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. Have a good evening.
You too.
शेर उसको मल्टी पे ना मुझे भूख लग रही है प्रसाद ले थोड़ी सी एनर्जी
One minute questions.
Right? It's okay. It's okay. And maybe she can announce outside now, then we don't have to say. Mohana? Mohana. It's
Thank you.
Can you say some quick introduction?
Sure. I'm Smita Bhasisechi, and I represent North Carolina. And I'm a mother of 3 boys, and I work as a software engineer in Bank of America. And I'm trained classical, Kuchipudi and Mohiniyattam with Bharatanatyam dance.
If you were to win this pageant, how do you use your crown to support domestic violence awareness?
Sure. This platform is huge, and we can use our voice to create awareness and bring people. I give more confidence to like a person who's a survivor who wants to get out of this. They usually suffer in silence behind closed doors, and the scars are unseen. So we can create a surrounding where they feel secure and safe to talk about. They need somebody to listen to and then give them more empowerment so they can talk about it. And then we can
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Amazing. She was good.
Next.
I think we're done with Mrs. Universe category. Mrs. Elite now.
Last
Now we're going to Mrs. Elite. Smith.
before that.
Yeah.
So she is Sudipta. Yeah.
This one was Sudipta.
Hi, Savita. Lovely. Thank you. So, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, so as all of you know, my name is Sudipta. I'm local. I'm from New Jersey. And I'm a certified nutritionist and a board certified holistic health practitioner who transitioned from an IT professional to follow my true passion for health and wellness. I'm also a proud mother of children to take care.
Thank you so much. So my question to you would be, so we know that domestic abuse is the topic today, and what, how the child health or the mental development happens, of course, when a couple is going through domestic abuse. So what do you think we should be doing as a parent or who is watching, and what steps should be taken for the child who undergoes domestic abuse?
Child exposed to domestic violence may suffer from emotional, behavioral, or developmental issues. They may suffer from anxiety, depression, or low self-esteem, and may repeat abusive pattern in future relationship. So education is the key, and by raising awareness and including more solution for the children in the domestic violence awareness, we can help more people, more children who has been suffering from domestic violence. And also we need to create more laws. I mean, I would like to see laws that can protect and support children by providing better shelter for the children, restraining order, protection order, or better safety for the children.
Excellent answer. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
yourself.
So good evening everyone. My name is Neha Rekapati. I am representing the Buckeye State of Ohio.
Okay, hi Neha. My question to you is, have you ever experienced or witnessed terrorist and domestic violence, and how did you support them, and what was your experience?
Sure. So I'm a physical therapist by profession, and I work in acute care, which is hospital. We do see a lot of domestic violence in our hospitals, and as a physical therapist, I work very, very closely with the social workers to place them to ensure that their discharges are safe. So I have personally seen a lot of people with domestic violence. The biggest thing I feel as my job as a physical therapist was to raise awareness. You know, people sometimes answer or tell us very close, smaller details of their lives, and it's important to bring light to that, to let the social worker know that, this is happening. So if that awareness is not being brought, then that cannot be addressed. So that is the job of the job.
Well said. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, thank you so much.
Hi, good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Please take a
Here.
Here. You are Malini?
Yeah, Dr. Thiru Malini Dasari is my full name.
Fine. How are you today?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
Fantastic. Thank you for asking. So, tell us a little bit about tonight. We've talked so much about both financial economic stability as one of the criteria for coming out of this abuse. How do you think domestic violence intersects with other social issues, gender, race, financial stability?
Absolutely. I think domestic violence is affected to all gender, age group, and ethnicity. I mean, it is a very diverse topic, and financial stability plays a major role. And when people are not financially stable or they don't have a good economic background, they are dependent on these people who are providing the bread to them, and that is the reason they cannot make decisions of themselves. So being a woman, I think our utmost priority is being stable and being financially independent. I grew up in a very progressive family where my dad always said, make your own money no matter what. So I think education is number one for women, and that gives us a lot of financial stability, and that puts us a better place to make decisions for ourselves.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you for that beautiful answer.
Thank
Good
you.
luck tomorrow.
Thank you so much.
Hi.
Good evening, judges. Hi.
Could you please introduce yourself so we know where you're here?
Yeah, my contestant number is 21. My
Okay.
name is Shilpa Ajay. I'm from IT background. I've been
Okay.
working in as vice president in 17 years.
Okay.
And my passion is towards all these pageant dance, and I choreograph also.
Perfect. That's amazing. How do you think, why like many survivors, right? Even if they are in like dire consequences, life-threatening situations, and still they're not able to seek help?
Yeah, it's very, painful thing that we know that survivors are there, they're not able to come out of it because there might be threat from the perpetrator, thinking like it might be harmful for the children, well-being of the children, and they might not be financially independent, or they might be afraid of that, the society or family, if they know what they will think. Also, somebody might be isolated from their family and friends, so that they will not seek help. So those are the things I feel like, they cannot come out. And the main thing is financial independence.
Yeah, well said. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
How you all doing?
Good.
Thank you for this opportunity. Thanks a lot. Thank you, Dr. Ma'am. And Janji.
You look stunning.
So are you, so you all.
And you are?
Meena.
Meena.
Meenakshi.
Marissa, will you introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. I'm Dr. Meenakshi Ravi, Mrs. Ellie, Texas University, and recently turned into an entrepreneur to create a platform for many women. So, and I'm brand ambassador and partnered with like around 5-6 non-profit organizations, and I'm a peace ambassador recognized in Canada, and I'm an honorary doctorate in Canada that happened 2 months back, and got recognitions from Houston Mayor for my community service and from the council members Edward Pollard. Mrs. Texas Brand Ambassador, many recognitions, including Trailblazer Model of the Year from LA Fashion Week. I'm a model too, so yeah, that's small description about myself.
Interesting.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
We are done.
We're done. I think it's there, starting there.
As a model and in the fashion industry, how do you feel that they can contribute to bringing more awareness around domestic violence?
Well, I always say, and thank you for this question, it's a beautiful question, because I've done fashion shows in Vegas, London, and everywhere. The reason I say everything is, it's so powerful, it's glamorous, because people love to see visuals rather than you talk something. So people love to see the fashion. And I thought that's a perfect platform to raise awareness, because people are watching you. What are you doing? What are you wearing? And they get inspired. And that's the best place and that's the best platform to voice out if you have anything. And I'm so proud and associated with Hoodie. I know your question is the domestic violence, but I just want to shed some spotlight about what I have done from my end. So in LA Fashion Week, they said they called me for a recognition. What I did is, with Hoodies for Healing that offers food for the homeless people, I told them how many minutes I have to get the award. They said 5 minutes. 3 minutes can you allocate for my nonprofit? So I told them, like, I want few models. They wanted to wear the volunteer t-shirt, and I want to show them the reality of what's happening to giving back to the society, right? I want the people to watch that, because it's not always about the glamour, about the designs. It's about the back end. Like, I always have the fashion philosophy, because I feel somewhere or the other it's both are connected, and I have the great initiative and working towards it. And talking about the women empowerment, I feel like most of the times people don't realize they're a victim. That's the worst part, because they feel like, if you see the abuses, and I voice out everywhere, these abuses are narcissists, meaning, like, they know exactly how to hold in a relationship. For instance, they give you like the best thing, 10 things, right? They make you feel good. They'll make you put at the high, at the top, and you feel like you are the women of the world, right? And they know exactly they hit at one point, and they just drop you out there. And then you feel like, okay, it's just one thing, like, I can deal with it. So I just make sure in these platforms, I voice out first, you need to have awareness if you are a victim or not. Because many people think like, oh, I have everything, it's this small thing, I can live with it, it's okay, he will change. No. No is a no. If a person hits you, you need to rise, or it's a crime. It's a crime. You need to come and report it. You can't just deal with it. Like, what is the point? Like, it's one life. It's a beautiful life. Your children are impacted. People feel like, oh, because of the children I'm doing that. But your children, what are you teaching your children? And the children is observing, oh, it's quite normal. And I feel like I create an awareness to this platform. Even in red carpet interviews, I talk about that. I feel it starts in your own home. When you raise a boy and a girl, please don't distinguish, giving the household work to the girl and making the boy to have a freedom to come anytime. No, it starts there. If a father does that, a mother has to voice out, intervene, and say, no, that's not the way. You need to create that equity right there and educate them and empower the man to involve in this, to raise against those custom norms. So I feel the main thing is to realize that you're a victim.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was an excellent answer and very powerful message. Thank you so much, Meenakshi.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you.
Hi, please take a seat.
This is Sushmita Somiriti, representing New York, and I'm a software engineer and a mother of 9-year-old child.
Hi, so my question to you is, how can survivors rebuild their confidence and self-worth after abuse?
An awareness has to be created in every woman, so that after the abuse, she will have to reconcile herself and come out of the trauma that she has gone into, and we need to explain her that there are a lot of therapies that she can undergo to come out of that traumatic phase, and she can build her confidence slowly. No, it cannot be immediate. It takes time to come over out of all the mess she has gone through. But it's our society's responsibility to teach her and explain each and every woman to the mother.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Like
Tomorrow.
Thank you.
Suruchi College.
Okay, now in this what category? This is petite.
Hello.
Could you introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Suruchi Kale. I'm representing New Jersey in a petite category. I'm the senior Miss pageant. And I won Mrs. Bharat USA in petite category this year only 2024. And I work as a HR manager in a leading IT company. And yeah, that's it.
Okay. So the question is, how can we break the cycle of abuse in families?
Okay. So if you know if any family is suffering from the domestic violence, then you have to speak up. You have to let the if someone like if you know the female is suffering in that case, you have to go and tell her that she has to speak. You have to make that environment or give that support to her that she should feel comfortable sharing what she feel about that. And once you have to tell her there are many resources available, she can take the help because abuse if it is extreme, then it will be worst for her. So it's better she has to take the step, and that is how there are many resources like we can tell her that she can use a hotline if there's any in the emergency happening at night, that she can take the call, she can dial the call and all. I know one case I'll tell you, one family, she is my close friend actually. She is suffering in this case since last 11 years, and she has a second child. She caught her husband cheating on her when she was pregnant, 4 months pregnant, and that time, that guy hit her a lot, and then police came. Somebody reported already. Police came. That guy was in the jail for 4 days, and still that the kid is now autistic. After that also, when he came back, that guy love bombing her, and she fall again. She thought he will change, but he didn't. She has a third child now, but again it is worse for her. Now she's suffering a lot, and now she is taking the stand. So because she don't have family here. Her family is in Pakistan. So it is very difficult for her because nobody is here to listen to her, understand her. So now we have few friends telling her that we'll support you because they need just one push, and that's all. So we can make spread the awareness, and we can help in that way.
Thank
you so much. Thank you.
Next.
Okay, I can keep that.
Hi, please come. Can you start with just introducing yourself?
Of course.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Alicia and I'm participating from New York State.
How can friends or family members best help someone they suspect is experiencing domestic violence?
I can say that nowadays, I can see that not nowadays, I mean ever since like in my childhood, I can see the those who are
getting threatened from their are there from the family members, a child, or maybe the teenagers, or maybe the like those who are in 20s. Most of them are threatened from their family members, and they do not have that courage to speak up, like why they are getting the what is going around, or this is like that, this is like it's like a kind of abusive behavior, and they do not have that much of courage. First of all, they should have that much of awareness. They should have create a society, or the family members, they should have create that kind of a environment or the channel, so that they can feel comfortable to speak with the like what is going around, because sometimes they are not getting comfortable to speak those things with their parents or with their siblings as well. So they should have that courage to speak up, and also like share with the family and to understand what is going around. So they need to have that education, so that they can understand and they can speak up for that.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Good luck tomorrow. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Good luck.
Rashmi.
Hi, Rashmi.
Nice to meet you all.
Please take a seat. Hi, Rashmi. So would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. So I'm Rashmi Nair. I come from the Ice Nation of the U.S., Minnesota, and I was given the crown of Mrs. Bharat Minnesota 2024. So yeah, and here I am. I'm an IT professional, mother, a dog mother, wife, million side hustles.
Nice. So my question to you, Rashmi,
Yes.
we are talking about the very big issue, domestic abuse, which is so visible nowadays, right? For better past. So my question would be like, why do you think a partner becomes a domestic abuser, and what step the opposite partner should be taken to prevent the domestic abuse?
Sure. I think it can be of many reasons. I have a friend whose husband was jealous of her because she was getting a bigger title and a role and money. It can also be the husband is depressed and he's just taking it out all on his wife, or it could be just anger issues. I'm a victim myself as a child. I grew up, my dad was very verbally abusive. So it could be because he had anger issues and we didn't know. We could take him to an anger management place, so it is anger, and sometimes it is a stress. So there's a lot of factors, and there is definitely some factor that we have to consider and it can be treated. And if it is not going well, you don't have a supporting partner, you are under violence, and you should definitely call the hotline or somewhere and get out of it. Nobody has to suffer violence. We have to build a wall which is zero tolerance to any form of abuse.
That's absolutely true. And thank you so much.
Thank
Rashmi.
you.
Have a good
Thank you.
evening.
You all
Thank
should see
you.
from here. It's amazing. All the
Thank
time.
you. Thank you.
Next.
You do not
Next.
on this amazing side.
That's right. Hungry.
No, we will check it first. Still one more.
Good evening, Jessica.
Good evening.
Good evening. Oh, I love your outfit.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Should I sit
Yes,
here?
Yes, you can. Hey Richard, can you introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Richa Gupta, and I am from California. And I think that's about it. I mean, if you want to know more, I can talk more.
All right. My question to you is, what do you think is the most impactful way to empower survivors of domestic violence?
The most impactful way to empower the survivors would be, first of all, thank you for the question. And according to me, the most powerful way would be to help them with their education or their career directions or career initiatives, because I think financial independence is really important for anybody to be more independent and to empower themselves and everybody around them, be it the kids, be it their parents, be it their in-laws, whoever they're supporting. So I would think education and their career would be the first and foremost.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good time.
The sixth Divya.
What category?
Hello.
Hi, Divya. How are you?
I'm very good. How are you?
Give us 1 minute. Let us locate. Can you tell us a little bit about
Divya?
Divya? Yep, found you. Yes. How's it going so far? How are
It's
you?
going fabulous. Yeah, having a good time.
Did your four friends come together? We were together in South Asia.
Yes.
Very amazing.
Yeah.
So, Divya, my question for you, it's been a great evening. We've heard so many different answers.
Right.
What are some early signs of domestic violence? And as a crowned queen, how would you encourage people to identify early signs of this?
This topic is very close to me because my sister has been a domestic violence victim. She lives in Norway and she has been a victim of domestic violence for years, and now she got divorced recently. I know what are the early signs. I have seen that the early signs are isolation from the family is the first thing I have seen. We couldn't communicate with her. My family couldn't communicate with her, and the next was isolation from friends and anybody. See, even if they're in different countries, she was isolated from the family in India, and then there living in Norway, she wasn't allowed to talk to anyone, you know. And the other signs I would say is, not letting someone do what they like, you know. And the other signs are disrespect, like, you know, you see that a person is constantly being disrespected no matter what her choices are. Say she wants to be a housewife or she wants to work, no matter what her choices are, she is constantly disrespected and degraded in the public all the time. So those are some of the signs to understand that, you know, somebody is going through domestic violence. And going beyond that, what was this next question you had for me?
Well, I think you kind of summarized it. As a crown queen, how will you educate people to identify these early signs? So you pointed out social isolation.
Yes, yeah, those are the early signs. Yeah, and I think you know we should start educating our kids from an early age. Like, what are the what is it to be in a good relation? Like, you know, there should be a subject in schools, I would say, where they can educate the kids of what it is to be in a good relation, and how, you know, what are the resources youth should know. Like, what are the resources before they get into the married life? They should know, like, what is domestic violence and how can they handle it if they are getting into domestic violence. Those are some of the things we have to educate the youth and the kids. And then, you know, we can use the social media platforms to let everyone know there are hotlines, there are protection cells, and, you know, women should come out and report the domestic violence, because reporting itself, like, takes a long time.
Absolutely.
For us, in my case, I've seen that my sister, she would never let us know that she was in domestic violence. So for years, it took her years to let us know that she's going through something like that. And when my family realized that, it took even longer for my parents to understand what it is. Because you know how in India, parents are a little orthodox. They don't want to talk about this topic. And it took a long time. It is like a taboo in India to talk about.
So living in secrecy and then, you know, breaking the silence takes a lot of courage.
It takes a lot of time. Yeah.
Thank you. Well,
And
thank you for coming.
Yes.
All right, dear.
Thank you.
Next.
She's very strong.
Yeah. She went through it.
Good evening.
Hi.
You.
What's your name?
I'm Priya Dharmendran,
Priya.
contestant number 29, and I'm from Atlanta, Georgia.
So if you had the opportunity to implement, from the platform one law or policy on domestic violence, what would it be? And how do you believe it will make a lasting impact on survivors and on the society as a whole?
It's a very good question, because the amount of domestic violence we have in this world is
It's 41%. I was seeing the stats. It's,
right.
yeah.
So if I had an opportunity to use this platform to implement a law, that would be a comprehensive protection plan. So where the government, the local governments and the federal government, they have some kind of policy that will help domestic violence victims, which will provide them with resources, financial aid, and then homes, legal facilities, counseling. So if we have a system which can help them with all these, I think definitely we can support them and make sure that they get out of that situation and be more successful in their lives.
Perfect. Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a good evening.
No other questions?
No.
Very well.
Running fast.
I was expecting more.
We are going to be kind to everyone. You answered really well and to the point.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for this.
Padmaja.
Hi, Sai. So can you start with just telling us a little bit about yourself?
My name is Sai Padmaja, and I have been in America for about 35 years. And I came here when I was 17 years. 17 years old, I did not have any support, and I still don't have any support at home to be in this pageant. So domestic violence is very close to me in many, many ways. People don't have to be physically abused or anything. It can be emotionally too. So, and I'm very thankful for this opportunity because I'm coming here alone and I'm standing here alone, and I'm proud of myself and I'm glad to be here. And thank you for this opportunity, and all of you look very lovely.
Thank you.
When you say you're standing here alone, is that because you have no support at all, or what are you experiencing, or are you experiencing some type of non-support in a domestic situation?
I think emotionally, like for example, I'm from southern part of India. I came from Orthodox family where, for example, my mother is 73 years old. When I told her that I'm going to this pageantry, she said, no, this is very sinful. I don't want you to go, and this is not acceptable because my father is very much involved in religion, and she's like, no, we don't wear these dresses. This is not acceptable from where I am coming from. So for me, taking that from my mother was very hard. So it doesn't matter whether it's from a mother or a father or a husband or from a school or from the society. It doesn't matter. I think we women have to stand up for ourselves and be who you are, and that is why I'm here, because children, are getting abused in the schools, bullied. It can be form of physical, verbal, emotional, financial. So I'm an occupational therapist, and I see this a lot, even in the elderly population. Doesn't have to be in the school, doesn't have to be at home. So for me, being here in this platform will give me the opportunity to take a stand, to be who you are, and to respect other women and to empower other people so that you can challenge and face these challenges in the life and then can help others. That is why I'm here.
That is excellent. Very nice of you to be here. We're happy you are here. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thanks.
Just curving.
She said that she right.
Now we are classic.
She was Mrs. Kirby Padmaja. Yeah.
It's a lot to not having any support and do what you want to do.
Good evening, judges.
Good evening.
Good evening. Have a seat.
Thank you.
Which gender are you in?
Classic.
Please introduce yourself.
So I'm Divya Srivastava from Atlanta, Georgia, representing Mrs. Universe USA Georgia Classic. And I'm super thrilled and excited to be a part of this pageant. Every time I get into the pageant, so this is every time a new journey and a process to learn and improve on yourself. First thing I would say, my competition is just with myself. It's a contest that I'm doing it with myself. I know what I was 10 years ago, what I am today, and what I want to be after 10 years. So I'm here just to be the best version of myself.
So my question to you is, do you think enough funding is allocated towards domestic violence prevention programs?
Thank you for your question. And I do not think so that there is enough funding provided for the issues like that, because based in Atlanta, we have some local organizations working for women empowerment, such as Raksha Incorporation, and they are always doing those charity events, hosting the programs. I've been a part of that since I run a dance academy, and with my talent, I always think that I can use my platform to do something for the community. I teach the young girls, and the respect that I receive from them is like life lasting for me. I'm like super touched when I see that my students had been with me for 15 years, and my recommendation helped them to get in the colleges. When they work for the volunteer organizations, I'm so proud of them. And I'm so proud of myself that I was able to contribute, even if it was like a drop in the ocean, and I contributed for the cause of women and for the cause of the children. So I use my platform to work towards children who are underprivileged in India, such as ECHO. And we have also raised fund for St. Jude Children's. And talking about the women empowerment, yes, I've been supporting Raksha as a local community. So I think there is never enough. Whatever we as women can do to use our talent to give more that we can is never going to be enough. As a woman, that's what I feel. No, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
So
you.
we have
Amazing.
already. Congratulations.
Thank you. So,
That's
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
My name is Aarti Iyer. I'm the state director of Arizona. And a little bit of my background, I'm a realtor for 20 years. And I'm associated with Women Business Council of North America. And I've been featured in Forbes magazine for 3 years.
Wow. Just nice. Amazing. Congratulations.
So your question is, how can we break the cycle of abuse in families?
So that's a little tricky question. Actually, abuse is such a wide area that people don't realize. When they are in the abusive situation, they don't realize at all. And it kind of gets so high that, somebody else pointing out, then they tend to see that, where they are going. But at that point, they are going so far away that, it's very hard to pull them out. So mentally, they get very demotivated. And, abuser is basically the victim. It's playing with the mind that, they don't realize that how much they are getting, taken with the violence. So I feel families should be there for mental support, and they should voice out if they see anything. Then they should voice out, and they should try to help the victim.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next. Very strong. evening, everyone. Good evening. Please take a seat. Thank you. Can you start with just giving us a quick introduction about yourself?
Absolutely. Mom, IT professional. I try to follow a minimalist lifestyle and a plant-based whole foods diet. That was a little bit about myself. I also, although I'm grounded in spirituality, I believe that being nice to human beings is like serving God. I'm very strong about that. Kind of being nice to humans is like my religion. Not into religion. That's like a unique thing about me when compared to my family members. And yeah, I think that's about it.
So the question for you tonight is, why is addressing some domestic violence an important cause, for you personally or for society in general?
Thank you for the question. I think domestic violence is a very important human crisis and public health crisis. And it is so important because you see, like they say, like numbers tell and stories sell. So if you look at numbers, 38% of women that are murdered, out of the total women that are murdered, 38% of them, I read, are murdered by their intimate partners. And 30% of married women face domestic violence. And that's a very underreported number because of the stigma that is associated with domestic violence. So most of them go unreported. So it's a very humble number when compared to the real number. And I think that's why it is so important. Like 30% is a huge number, 38% is a huge number. We women don't deserve this. So I think it is an important crisis, like I said, that we need to address public health issue.
Perfect answer. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you.
Good night. Bye.
Thank you for your patience.
Thanks for having me.
Hi.
Hello.
Beautiful. So I would like to hear something about you.
Sure. I'm Pooja Karade, contestant 35. I'm representing state of New York in this pageant. And I'm an IT professional in GSPAN. I have acted in a Bollywood film. And yeah, I pursue this fashion as a passion. And I love this, like, how we are using beauty for a change.
So my question to you would be, what are the consequences or the impacts after being a domestic abuse survivor, and how do you deal, or an individual should be dealing with the domestic abuse?
I think that's the perfect question for me because I am the survivor. And it starts with questioning yourself. Why me? It's a process. You have to identify there is a domestic violence, how you can step up and speak up for yourself and take the right action. And after that, there's a process to heal, survive, and accept that this is also life, right? You can also be independent. You can also be free, and you can have hope to have, like freedom and peace of mind. It's just beautiful life after that, I would say, because I have been through the journey of this. Seek right help, seek therapy for me and my son too. And it's just amazing, the journey, but you just have to stick through it and just hope for the best and get out of it.
That's an excellent answer. It's very important to be at peace.
Yes.
Than be unhappy. Thank you so much. Have a lovely
Thank you so much.
Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Next.
Hi, good evening.
Nice to meet you.
Hi, Lakshmi. Can you introduce yourself?
So my name is Upti Panas. I'm a dentist by profession. I own
have two dental practices in Connecticut, one in West Hartford and one in Weathersfield. And I do general, cosmetic, oral surgery, ortho, all different types of. It's a multi-specialty practice, so keeps me busy. But I try to find some time to do some of my hobbies, such as Fashion Model, New York Fashion Week. I see you there. And I'm a mom of an 11-year-old daughter and a dog lover. I have two dogs. One passed away. We just got a new one, Maltipoo. So I keep myself busy with this. And I'm so happy and excited to be here with all of you today.
Oh, that's amazing. My question to you is, how can communities come together to prevent domestic violence?
That's an excellent question. Thank you so much for asking. I think the communities that I'll personally answer on how I involve myself in the community. So in Connecticut, there's an India Association of Connecticut, and in the town of where I practice, it's Weathersfield Chamber of Commerce and West Hartford Chamber of Commerce. I try to get the India Association with the town Chamber of Commerce to get the women that are actually victims of domestic violence to do some social networking. It actually had 30%, women that participated in these social networking events are actually survivors of domestic violence. So, I thought to myself, if I can get in 100 people, 30%, 30 people, imagine if I were to take it to a platform like My Dream TV, where there's thousands of people, maybe 10,000, how much reach I would basically have if I were to go to a bigger platform than my town, to go nationwide. Hopefully that's the opportunity that I'm trying to get, being part of this platform, that I'm able to expand not only in the medical field, but also in the health and mental health wellness, providing a safe environment to be able to, for them to communicate with us what they've been through, and raising the awareness with the education on how to prevent versus, be proactive versus reactive to these situations. And that's kind of where I think the community can learn the signs of domestic violence so we can kind of eliminate it at its root. That's my goal.
Yes, rightly said.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a good evening.
You too.
Next.
Wait, is it done?
Last but not least. Showstopper for the evening. Last contestant, are we good to record?
Hi.
Technical team. Hold on please, they are just fixing their camera. She's the showstopper for the evening.
Yeah.
Final.
Who doesn't know Shraddha, right?
Shraddha. Shraddha, good to have you here tonight.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for being so patient. I'm sure everyone's gone outside.
Yeah, of course. Everybody has to take their turn, so understand.
So, as you know, tonight's topic, domestic violence, and everyone's talked about financial stability and importance of education. How important is it for survivors of domestic violence to have role models? And how do you think, as the crown queen, you'll serve as the role model? What would you do?
So, domestic violence is very close to my heart because I'm also a survivor of domestic violence myself. And I think that it says domestic, supposed to be like household or some small problem, but it's actually not a domestic problem, it's a society problem, I think, because it impacts not only like two people, like husband and wife, they are part of the story, but also their families and their kids, and that way we are kind of impacting the society because the kids are future of your society, and they're majorly getting impacted by that. Because I see my son, he's 21 now, and he's still taking the therapies, and he's still going through the things like that. And I took a long way, like where I am today. It took like years to come out of all that trauma. That not easy, I think, for a lot of people, especially when you are not have family here, who are not having any people in the house who can understand you. You are on your own. You have to take care of your responsibilities and as well as your career and everything on your own because of the society. They are not even aware. They don't care basically like what's going on with you because
they have their own agenda, right? Everybody doesn't understand the feelings of individual those are going through the problem. So I think it's as if I have the opportunity to promote and help people, I will definitely share my experience. And I am right now kind of involved with a lot of people who are suffering. I try to help them. I am not officially joined any groups, but I have plans to join my local groups where I can go and help them. But right now I do as friendly when I notice people, I try to help them and give them the advice. And as I'm a little bit aware about the legal aspects here in US, so I try to help as much as I can from my side.
Amazing. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Wishing you a lot of luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
We got a lot for our beautiful judges. A big round of applause. So we can have a picture, Aditi, Mohana, and Amit. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. Let's have a group picture and thank you, Shraddha.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You want to stand?
Yeah, we can stand here.
Yes. It's about time we stand.
I know,
Yes,
my
yes.
legs are.
Stretch. We'll all stand for domestic violence. Come. Rana, join us. Please. Ame, Mohana, Krishna ji. No, we should all stand. Why not? Move the chair, no?
Should we just push the chairs out?
Yeah.
Please come.
And then we can invite our special guest from all. Come join us. Come, move the chair and.
Can I have you take a picture as well? Come on.
From that.
अरे तो तुम सब भी आजे पिक्चर तो ले ही रहे ना उनको दो ना हेलो कम
Okay. Without us. Okay.
Don't know where to look.
Look here.
Okay.
Here.
Thank you.
One more. Somebody, yes.
Stay.
Thank you.
And tomorrow we're gonna watch her. Okay, one more guys. Come.
Yeah.
Please, Thank you. You guys. Thank you girls. Thank you so much.
All the judges were a major hit. Yeah, everyone loved it. Contestants loved you. They loved your boots. But they loved your boots. They loved all of you.
Afternoon. How about 1 o'clock?
Yeah, viral. They kept saying that they got distracted by all the things.
And I think
Yeah, I'm surprised I saw that.
I'm sorry to say that. Got you.
Yeah, so I'll let you know.
You guys were great.
You too.
Amazing.
Really very spontaneous questions you had.
Yes. Evening, everyone. See you tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow. It's nice having you here.
Yes.
Finally, we get to meet and
Yeah,
talk.
absolutely. And we connected now, right?
Yes, we are now connected, yeah.
Yes.
See you tomorrow. Oh, tomorrow you're coming?
Yeah. I'll be there. See you.
Jersey. New Jersey. Yeah, South Jersey. I mean Glassboro.
Oh,
Glassboro, New Jersey.
I'm from
Yeah.
South Brunswick.
South Brunswick?
South Brunswick.
Oh, yeah. I used to live in Highland Park. Yeah.
You two definitely deserve it.
You have a star, guys. We are hungry. You have a spoon in there? Sit down. Where is Cassandra, please? Cassandra? Oh, this is chole and naan. You will love it.
Okay, thank you.
Enjoy. Eat, guys. Oh yeah, guys, naan and everybody, please listen. By popular choice.
Seriously.
By popular choice, Paramata Ghosh is one.
I was just telling her.
Best judge.
We were asking every contestant that whose dress did you like? And everybody was
Kumari. क्या खड़ा हूँ मैं आपको predict करता हूँ.
I think so. Janakji was saying that.
Yeah.
Please start promote Janakji.
5 मिनट बैठ जाते हो आशा में आशा भी है
मैं मोना के साथ लेता हूँ भाई ना लास्ट श्रद्धा उसके कॉलर पे रह गया कि क्या
हो गया यही बात करो ये होस्ट तुम्हारे फ्रेंड
हम तो मिल गए बाहर खाना ऐसे नीचे So this is our
Sorry. I'm
You
just
wanna
looking
eat,
for
right?
just looking for napkins.
That might be difficult.
Sorry.
No, that's fine.
I'm done for the day. I'm tired. मैं 8 बजे से अपना
पारुल को लग रही थी पारुल को लग रही थी मेरा तो फुल है मुझे नहीं लग रही था boots are good
यही
मेरा पीस वाला था ये लिपस्टिक लगाओ क्या
उसके तो वीडियो नहीं बनाते 5 बजे और जनरसी का
तुझे क्या लग रहा मुझे पता नहीं चला
तो वहाँ जाती हूँ शेयर बढ़िया
Oh my god नहीं हाथ डबली
We give me guys. Yeah.
Actually, इसके लिए लगाई तो
Oh, is it?
You are having together.
Can't move it.
इसके लिए लगाई
नहीं, just
मैं
while
गिरी
taking a
नहीं
picture, you know,
अच्छा
pushed it back.
Nice साड़ी मीना
Thank you. मैंने कहा आप मेरे साइड बैठते बहुत सुंदर लगते हो मैं भी ट्राई करती हूँ
तू भी बहुत सुंदर लग रही है
she got the approval from me too for the saree
already selected but yeah you did something different हो जाएगा